Hello everybody, this is Laura Lameri, and today I want to talk about the number one negotiating strategy with sellers. And actually there are a few components to the strategy, so it's not just one absolute one, but the main important one I will tell you at the end of the other tips I want to give to you. So the first thing you want to do when you negotiate with sellers is present it in a way that makes sense to them and creates a win-win situation. Especially when the seller says to you, I'm just going to list it with the real estate agent because he probably thinks he gets more exposure, or it's better all the way around. Then as a investor, you want to point out to that, well, maybe working with me as an investor will be a better choice for you, because first of all, you're going to save on the commission. So, the seller doesn't have to pay a commission, which the average is 6%. So, on a $200,000 property, he would have to pay at least $12,000 in commission. He would have to get all kinds of inspections done on the property. Most real estate agents are going to list the property, but the buyer is going to come in one kind of inspection. So you want to point out to the seller that you can skip all these inspections. The property will be purchased as is, because either you are an investor, a wholesaler, or you're going to buy as a rental property. But if you get a good enough price, it might be sense to skip some of the back and forth you would do with these inspections. And number three, you say to them, I'm not going to bring a bunch of people through the property. Right? Like a real estate agent, when they put into the MLS, our agents are going to bring people to the property. Well, if you do it the way we do it, it's much more streamlined. We pre-sell all our properties that we have under contract via to our buyers, via pictures, via videos. We post it on social media. We sell it to our buyer list. We get the contract before we get potential buyers into the property. So we pre-sell everything. So we don't have a bunch of people or people that just want to look but are not really serious. We want to get the contract. We want to get an earnest deposit. We want to make sure that we have a serious buyer. So again, summarizing this, why would the seller want to work with you? Advantage of doing it himself as a for sale by owner or working with another real estate agent. Number one, they don't have to pay a commission. Right? And so basically they don't have to worry about that. Number two, inspections. They don't have to worry about doing a bunch of inspections. You're not going to require them to do that, or you can put an inspection contingency on there if you want to, but if you can give them a contract to be purchased as is, that will definitely put you into a much more of a leverage. And number three, you're not going to bring a bunch of people through the property that are going to bother the tenants, or he doesn't know who these people are, because you're going to vet. If you are selling this property as a wholesaler, you're going to vet your buyers, and you're going to have them already write a contract before you take them to the property. And if you buy the property to hold on to yourself, either to do a rehab or a buy and hold, then you're going to go ahead and basically get away with the inspections. You're going to get enough of a discounts to make up for any problem. Granted, you can still do your inspections to make sure they're not big structural damages, but that should not be a burden on the seller like with a regular contract. So those are the three main things that you can tell the seller. And the main number one strategy is to really put everything in writing. Okay, so when you have a conversation with the seller and you go back and forth, and the seller starts saying, well, maybe I'm going to rent it out, or maybe I'm going to list it with an agent, prepare a cover letter. Don't just say, okay, have a conversation and leave it at that. I prepare a cover letter highlighting what we just talked about, highlighting how did you come up with your offer price. Especially say that the seller wants $200,000, you're offering $160,000. Well, explain the comps that you come across, or other things, due diligence you did. Okay, based on the comps, there was a house that sold across the street for this much. There was a house that sold around the corner for this much, but it was bigger. So write a cover letter to justify how you came to the price, and then send it together with a contract. Seller will react much different to something in writing than doing something verbally over the phone. So all the three things I just said earlier here in this conversation, you put them in writing on a cover letter. and also how you came to your price, and then you send a contract. People react much different to something in writing compared to you sending something and say, you know what, having a conversation that doesn't go anywhere, right? When they see something in writing with an actual closing date, with the fact that you're serious about getting this property, you'll be surprised how many actually turn around in their decision on what they need to do. So those three things I mentioned in the beginning, and put it everything in writing with a good cover letter justifying the price, is going to be the difference here between getting these offers or not, especially in this market. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share with you, because I realized, talking with a lot of students, this was for them an aha moment. And for our students, we do have cover letters, sample cover letters that I personally use, and some of my other students have used successfully. So that will be part in your documents package that you get from us, together with the contract and the stipulations we put on the contract as well. Now, for everybody else that you're seeing this video, we have a link here, if you see it on Facebook Live, to go ahead and check us out and schedule a call with us. Or also, we have a form, if you see this through our website, where you can answer a few questions and see if we are a fit in working together. And so then we can help you to really do this. So I'm very excited to have brought this information to you, because it was something that I guess I took for granted. But then when I was talking with a lot of my students, I realized that they were having an aha moment. And when they start using this strategy, things change dramatically for them. And I know it's kind of pointing the obvious, you think, sometimes with the sellers, but trust me, sometimes you need to point out the obvious. You know, they don't seem to see it that way, you know, and so to point out in a way that makes sense, then you get them to also build a trusted relationship with you. Okay, so hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.